Hey guys, just a quick little announcement to say that due to health and scheduling, there will be no new main list episode this week. Instead, enjoy this bonus episode in honor of the release of the trailer for The Meg 2, and we'll be back next week with 11-11-11. This is Rating Descending,
where we watch bonus episodes sometimes.
I'm Michelle St. Clair.
I'm Abigail Ward.
And this week, we watched The Meg. A group of scientists exploring the Marianas Trench encounter the largest marine predator that has ever existed, the Megalodon. Let's watch. Wow, 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 wow. I don't know why. Wow, 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 wow. This is the shark alarm. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh my God, there's a shark in the area.
Well. Look who's back in the Rating Descending house.
Well.
Hello.
You can say hi.
It's so nice to be here. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here for another shark-related episode.
Clare Rankine, as I live and breathe.
It's me. I'm not a shark.
Well, are you sure you're not a shark? Sounds like something a shark would say.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Before I get stabbed through the eye.
Just obsessed with sharks.
And the
How
heart.
does Quint sound in Jaws? If it wasn't... Does he have an accent or does he just talk? Is he just like grumbling?
He's got like a gravelly voice, but I don't think he's Scottish.
If I wasn't a old man, that shark bites you as hard as he can. If you're out in the... We'll need a bigger boat, I'm pretty sure.
Eyes as black as a shark.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
Yeah.
This is... I'm trying to greet you,
Yeah,
Clare
hi.
Rankine, a shark.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, we might
I'm
have
waving
got
my
the
fin. I'm hopping out of the water and waving my fin.
Clearly, we're three people who've never said hello in their lives.
No.
Hi there.
Hello.
Claire, you wanted to do the Meg. You sound like a big
Yes.
fan of the Meg. You love sharks?
I love The Meg.
Yeah?
I think The Meg is a really good movie. I think it has a lot of recognizable faces.
Yeah.
First off, the one and only Jason Statham.
Statham himself.
Who has a very weird accent. He very much borders between South African, American, Australian,
I think that's something we'll get
English.
into in the episode.
I've also got trivia about it, funnily enough.
I would love
Yeah,
to hear all
I'm
of that.
fascinated to know what's going on with the accent.
I mean, look, this doesn't really spoil the trivia, but the spoiler is that he's Cockney but has been in American movies for decades now.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. It's the Harry Styles thing. He's just been in too many American things.
So
I
he's
think
not
they
trying
just-
to do anything.
No, he's not trying to do
talking
it.
the
He
way he
just
talks.
sounds
He's
like
just
that.
At
chatting.
one point, he sounded Australian.
To be fair,
confused.
Cliff Curtis is really softening his New Zealand accent.
He
I think everyone was
was.
told to tone it down.
is.
He was.
And weirdly, Ruby Rose is very, very weirdly American.
She is, but then
Yeah.
she also
But she's
falters,
also
and then you hear
Australian.
that Australian accent come through again. I fucking hate Ruby Rose.
Ruby
I just bad energy.
Yeah. Sorry,
Terrible
Ruby Rose, if
energy
you're
from
listening.
Ruby Rose. Yeah.
Yeah, Ruby
don't give
Rose,
a fuck.
if you're listening and we're just about to promote this podcast, we don't need you.
Fuck
you, Ruby Rose.
Come on, Claire, join in with
And
us.
your wonderful cheekbones.
Yeah.
She does have
Your
lovely
beautiful
cheekbones.
genetics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All her hair is always gelled to the max.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you need more than cheekbones and gelled hair to
Yeah.
entertain me, to
Very
be charming.
true.
Yeah, Ruby
Very
Rose's
true.
character in Orange is the New Black was terrible as well.
Yeah.
Just a terrible character, no reason to be there.
This is
Hated
just
the
us
sexual
hating
yeah.
Ruby Rose.
That's what this episode's about, the Meg.
Hating Ruby Rose.
VJ Ruby Rose. The
VJ?
cool way to
Oh,
say
she was a
DJ.
VJ, right? No,
She was an
'cause she was a
MTV
video DJ.
jockey. Is that
Video
what it's
jockey.
called? I don't know. Look, she's there. She's skinny. She's got a cheekbone, just one.
Just one.
And
Just
she's
one.
acting her heart out, but it's not enough for me.
Acting her heart out is really generous, but
Yeah.
I
I just
getcha.
want to. It's the guy from Heroes is in this movie.
Yeah.
is.
And he's only here for a tiny bit.
The movie cannot make up its mind on whether he's Chinese or Japanese, and I think that's a
Yeah.
fascinating thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? We're in it. Let's just...
Let's just do it.
Hey, this bonus episode, we're talking about the Meg. I've got so much stuff we can talk about
Yes,
that we can
please.
just get into it
Yeah,
immediately.
it's too good to dart around, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Let's
like
not
a
be-
shark.
Hey.
Just go straight for it.
Straight for the kill.
We're getting out of this shark cage we're in
Hey.
and just getting into it. You know, we watched The Meg this week. This episode, we watched The Meg. We
did.
Hey, we watched the Meg.
We did it. Hey.
We watched it.
If you ever wanted to applaud us for anything, this is it. We did it. We watched The Meg.
High
Yeah.
five, guys.
Applaud now. Not you.
Oh, I was
The
high-fiving
audience.
myself.
Me too.
You guys just did one clap.
Yeah.
That's also not an applause.
If someone does something, I will copy it. I'm a follower.
I
Just
get
like a shark.
Yeah.
it. Brooke has discovered that my darling girlfriend Brooke has discovered that I do the same thing in an almost like echolalia but physical. I don't know what that would
That's
be
a
called.
good word. Echolalia.
Oh, I love the word echolalia. I don't
Oh.
know. Kinetolalia?
I
Maybe
like
would be
that.
like the version for movement. But that's how she gets me. Like if I ever put on lipstick to remind me to, like mush it around on your
Oh,
lips,
yeah.
and she just starts going, and she'll notice that I just repeat it without really thinking. And I do that if she waves, I like just
like
a lot of
baby.
repeat, like a baby. Yeah, thank you.
And there is a very cute baby, toddler baby in this movie.
There is.
Wait,
And
who's the toddler baby?
It loves to toddle around.
I guess she's not a toddler.
Maybe she's a little bit older.
8 or 9.
I
right?
don't see
Maybe
age, you
she's like-
guys.
Whoa.
She's a Hollywood toddler.
Yeah. Well, so that means she's like 18, right?
Yeah.
She's playing 10.
Claire,
Yeah,
I
playing down.
commend your efforts to fight ageism. You know?
Thank you,
It's
guys.
incredible.
I'm just here for everybody. Yeah, I love that she just like toddles around.
Says
We'll
something
get into
smart,
it, and
says
then
something funny. She quips.
yeah,
I think she's one of the best parts of this movie.
yeah,
Honestly.
yeah. She's a really good actor,
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was very funny.
She was giving it her all. She
and
was
her
giving
mum,
heart.
wonderful.
I mean, I don't want to overload this moment, but when the Meg starts trying to like bite the facility, like when it's outside of the facility and she's just looking at it, I'm like, there is a different movie where we are following her and the Meg becoming
Yes.
friends.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
That's the movie I want, you know?
Isn't that
Oh, that's lovely.
No, because a Western blue groper is much smaller than a megalodon.
Yeah, but if it was smaller, isn't that
Well,
You
then
guys
it's a
would
different
know
movie.
that.
I think it's Free
lovely
Willy.
audience. If you consumed as much shark content as we have done.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're all about it's Shark Week every week on
Yeah.
this podcast.
Yeah. Every week is Shark Week.
Every week is
and
Shark
Rating
Week.
Descending.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any other favorite like bad shark movies? Because when I was a kid, my mum one time when I was sick, we rented and then watched Giant Shark versus Mega. No. Yeah, Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus. And it was a classic bad monster movie. Featuring at one point a shark jumping out of the ocean and then biting out of the air a plane. You know, all the way up in the air. Wasn't flying low. Wasn't a small, like full passenger jet. Jumping all the way up and grabbing onto the plane and bringing it down back into the ocean.
So good.
It's pretty rad. It's pretty good.
I mean,
You tell me that when you were a kid, your mum got you Jaws 2, 3, and 4, but not Jaws 1.
Yeah,
so you'd
she-
never seen the first one.
She is a fan of, as a connoisseur of cinema, as I've clearly made the case for, but she is genuinely wanted to show me Jaws, and so she went and she got confused because she thought it said that it was a Jaws movie collection. She just didn't read it very closely, and then I looked at it and it said Jaws 2, Jaws 3, and Jaws 4, The Revenge, and I was like, the only movie that's not here is Jaws. So I didn't see
so
Jaws for like another
strange.
10 years.
but good on you, Mum.
Yeah.
That's lovely.
Yeah.
She tried her best. I wonder where she got that from.
Jaws, just from
Sanity?
like Coles or Woolworths or something. Like one of the, like there's the section that just has movies.
Why didn't they include one?
Oh, because it was probably cheaper to produce,
Probably, yeah.
you know? I mean, what, you're going to sell Jaws 3 on DVD by itself in like the mid 2000s? No, it's not going to happen.
Very true. I want like 7 megs. I want more megs.
There's going to be more Megs.
There's gonna be more megs, you
Yeah,
guys.
there is.
Yeah.
Counting down the days.
I mean, we're releasing this in anticipation of the Meg 2, The
We know
Trench.
it's coming. The trench.
Well, actually, I think it's just Meg 2. They're dropping the like Facebook.
And Michelle, like, is everybody returning for Meg?
Well, I mean, not everybody. Many of them die in this movie.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I forgot about that. Is Jason?
yeah, it's gotta have
JS.
Jason.
as far as I know, Jason Statham, Lee Bingbing, and Cliff Curtis have said they're coming back.
Oh,
Okay,
fabulous!
the three major players.
The three mainers are
And I
coming
guess
back.
is the kid all grown up? Are we following the kid?
Oh, I hope
That
so.
would be sick.
I hope so.
Actually, it's only
But
been,
they'd be
what,
a
5
teen.
years
Yeah.
since the first one? Maybe she's a teenager.
You know what? Let's just get into the key details so
Yes,
that we can
please.
Let's do
start
it.
going into it.
So we can start talking about Jason.
Yeah. It's maybe the earliest we've ever gone into the key details.
We just got jazzed up.
Yeah. I think I'm finding it hard to figure out the opening of the episode. So, key details. This came out in 2018. It's directed by John Turteltaub.
Isn't he a producer?
He's also a producer, and his dad, Saul Turteltaub, was a producer for a long time.
Well, let me ask you this. I'm so sorry to cut you off so quickly.
Yeah, sure.
Did John Turteltaub produce National Treasure?
He directed National Treasure
That's even better!
and National Treasure 2 Book of Secrets and Cool Runnings, the classic
Cool
Disney Channel
Runnings?
movie.
Holy
My
shit.
love for National Treasure knows no limits.
Yeah.
You know, I will rewatch that film every year or so, and it tickles me every time. When I showed it to Claude, he was like, this film is fucking amazing. It's stupid, but it's amazing.
Yeah.
I love his name. And
Yeah.
I love that his dad's name is Saul.
Saul Turteltaub.
Oh, yeah.
Better call Saul, you
I
know?
recognized it immediately because it's parodied in BoJack Horseman, where there is the character of Turteltaub,
Yeah, there
who is a turtle.
Yeah. It's so handy having such a
love that.
distinct surname. You
Very
know?
much
like
so.
if a guy's called John Matthews, fat chance I'm remembering you, but John Turteltaub,
Yeah.
Saul Turteltaub.
That's right. He also directed the John Travolta movie Phenomenon. Have either of you guys seen that?
I mean, I've got the script tattooed on my butt. I love that movie.
I mean, I talk about it all the time because I watched it on TV one time. It is a movie in which John Travolta is like a regular small town guy, and then he like looks
great.
into the sky and sees a flash, and then suddenly he can like he's like a genius. He can like remember all this information. He has new ideas. I'm reading right now. I forgot this. He apparently develops light telekinesis.
wow. I think that's based on a dream that John Travolta had.
And they're like, what is it? Is this like a gift from aliens? Is it supernatural? And then the reveal towards the end is it's actually an aneurysm from a brain tumor.
Oh, no.
It's going to be L. Ron Hubbard comes down to him and says, yes, my son. This
Or
is all
Scientology.
real. Give us $3 million and I'll show you more. Yeah.
That would be very Travolta.
wow.
But yeah,
That's quite sad.
It's a very dumb movie.
Yeah.
And so you've got it tattooed on your bum. Is that part of the foreplay when you're getting a guy to rim your ass? So,
Whoa! Whoa!
But yeah,
I had to cut that out because my dad listens to this podcast.
okay.
this is how we're gonna like
Wow.
pivot into talking about
Wow.
diving. First it's ass diving, now it's diving for sharks.
Wow. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Yes. Hello.
So it's starring to get back into it.
That's okay.
It's okay. You know, a friend of the podcast, Gaden Souza, also has parents that listen, and I repeatedly talked about his big dick coming everywhere and stuff.
Yeah, and then they sent us a lovely email saying, love the podcast.
Oh, that's lovely.
Anyway.
Proud of their boy.
Starring Jason Statham, Lee Bingbing, Rainn Wilson, Cliff Curtis, who we also recognize from fucking Avatar: Last Airbender as
Yes.
the Maori man that every studio loves to make Indian or Mexican.
Yeah.
Wait, is he blue in Avatar?
Oh, no, this is the
No,
adaptation of the
Oh.
show.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry,
The
everybody.
Last
The Last
Airbender.
Airbender.
Last
Yeah.
Airbender.
Oh gosh, I'm so
Yeah, that
sorry.
one.
I've got Avatar on the brain apparently.
The movie's just called The Last
Yeah.
Airbender. The show is Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Because it came out the same year as Avatar,
Well,
which is so
it was
confusing.
originally
no.
called just Avatar, and then
Yeah.
it turns out that fucking Cameron had already trademarked Avatar, and they were like, "But we're making our thing first."
Yeah,
and
the
he was like,
producers
"Too
were
late,
like,
baby."
Damn it. Wait, he put out a little cigarette.
Put a cigar.
Too late,
probably.
baby. Is he American?
He wrote Avatar on the board and then put like an S and a dollar
Yes.
sign through it.
Yes. Oh, I love that.
Hey, get this. They're all blue. We're going to make millions.
The executives all like stand up and applause.
Yeah.
And they're huge.
I love that.
And the budget. 130 to 178 million, a huge range.
Yeah.
Don't know what
That's
it is
enormous.
solidly.
Wow.
The box office though, 530 mil.
Oh,
So it made its money.
it did. And do you remember the trailer? I remember the trailer.
I don't remember the trailer.
Look,
I remember the little girl staring out into the abyss.
it's got some cool images for
and
sure.
the little glass cracking.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
And everyone was like, "Oh my god, the Mega's going to eat this toddler / baby / young child."
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I apparently can't see age.
Just be careful of the mic. You're
Yes.
going out of it quite a lot.
Am I? Okay. Yes. Continue.
I mean that's all the key details really. I mean with 530 if the budget was 130, then it made a bunch of money, and if it was 178, then it made some money. That's sort of too big of a range, but I'll just get into the overview.
I love that the Meg trailer stuck with you so much as well. That's
It really did.
fantastic.
And I don't know why, but they got me.
They got you good.
When there's a big thing in the ocean, that's pretty visceral.
yeah.
We are land mammals,
We
and when
are.
I'm okay with leaving the sea to the deep creatures that dwell within. You know,
I totally agree. I have a deep fear of the ocean. We've talked about this
we have.
because we did a shark movie together last
We did.
time. And I these films are a struggle, you know? Just like it's watching them in their little they're not spaceships. What are they? Submarines.
Do you know what they are? They are the submarines from Spy Kids 2.
They are. They
Right?
look the same with the bubbles.
I love
I'm gonna
them.
fucking
Yeah.
get into this, but my theory is that John Turtletop is a big fan of Phantom Menace because that's fucking pod racers, man.
Yeah.
And even when he's like going skimming the bottom of it over the corals and like it's
I'm
following
sure he
him, I'm like,
is.
that's a sequence in
Yeah.
Phantom Menace where they go
Yeah.
through the planet core.
You
It's a whole big moment.
They're just spaceships of the sea, you know?
Well, that's a thing that's been expounded upon in many mediums, and one of my favorites that did it was fucking what was it, Returnal, a game where it's deep space, deep ocean, pretty similar thematically. You know, eldritch
Yeah.
horror and spaceships,
True.
and lack of breath.
Very
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah.
You don't know what's there. Is it a fish with a light on it? Don't know.
Who knows?
God, I hope so.
Here's the overview.
Okay.
Well, we'll find out whether it's a fish with a light on it. Research facility Mana 1, financed by billionaire Jack Morris, is currently attempting a mission to break through a thermocline layer in the Marianas Trench.
Thermocline layer.
There's so much maths in this movie, you guys.
Thermocline meaning like a layer of temperature
Cloud.
differential.
Yeah,
It's sort of a
right.
cloud because it's hydrogen sulfide, so it's
Yeah.
also different material. But that's
You were
what the
paying attention.
thermocline. I also knew it because a halicline, so like a thick layer of debris and salt layer, is a very big plot thing in the Adventure Zone's Ether Sea arc.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
Because I'm that kind of nerd. The submarine, the Evolution, breaks through, but after an unseen attack, loses contact and is presumably stranded. The remaining crew, at the suggestion of operations manager Mac, seek out Jonas Taylor, the only man to have ever attempted to rescue that team.
I didn't realize his surname was Taylor. Jonas Taylor is a silly name.
It's a great action
silly.
movie.
Yeah, it is.
It's two first names,
Mate.
and I like that.
Yeah. Mate, I'm Jonas Taylor. Ex-husband of one
Jonas
of the submarines.
Taylor.
What?
That's my Jason Statham.
Oh, you sounded like a little anime boy. I'm Jonas Taylor. I'm here to be the best.
Yeah, you
trying
really
to
went through
copy
all the continents.
American.
That
Yeah, I tried.
Oh, I'm
love it.
Jonas Taylor.
yeah, I'm Jonas Taylor.
Oh, I'm Jonas Taylor.
Oh, mate, I'm Jonas Taylor. Getting himself.
This is just the rest of the podcast, you guys.
It's just going to be us doing fucking accents in a mediocre fashion.
Yeah.
Getting himself out of a drunken stupor, he rapidly attempts to stage a rescue of both the missing submarine and Su Yin, daughter of the facility's head scientist and a scientist in her own right, who has attempted to stage her own rescue. And while there, they rescue the crew. However, one of them is killed by what is revealed to be an ancient megalodon. Back on the surface, they realize the presumed extinct species still lives beneath the thermocline layer, and their rescue has allowed one of them to rejoin the rest of the ocean via what is described as a
Highway.
ancient shark superhighway.
Oh, yes.
Um,
Oh, I love it.
Bless you.
It's me. I did one.
Yeah.
Wow. See how I did that? Like I politely turned away.
Yeah, you
Don't
did.
understand that.
Yeah. After the Meg, as it's dubbed, attempts to break into the facility and destroys several local fishing ships, they attempt to hunt down the shark. Despite the chaos that ensues, Su Yin successfully poisons the Meg, and Jonas, in turn, narrowly saves Su Yin before the Meg succumbs to its wounds. However, their celebration is cut short when a second Meg unexpectedly attacks, killing 2 more of the crew and chasing down the rest as they attempt to flee back to the facility from their broken boat. They really needed a bigger boat. After the billionaire fails an overnight mission to blow up the Meg and is killed in the process, the remaining crew track down the Meg to a crowded beach in Sanya Bay, China. The agitated swimmers send the shark into a frenzy, but the crew manage to draw it away, and eventually Jonas battles it in hand-to-hand combat, man versus Meg, and emerges the victor. Yeah. That's the movie, broadly.
And then I think he might hook up with
Oh, for
old
sure.
mate
For
and
sure
becomes
he's hooking up
surrogate
with
dad.
CN.
Oh,
Yeah.
everyone's alluding to it. Everyone wants it to happen.
Yeah. Oh, and then there's the female gaze when
Yes.
he's naked with a towel wrapped around his.
He's naked under the towel.
He's naked under the towel.
If I was just wearing a towel and someone walked in, I think I wouldn't describe myself as clothed.
No, that's very true.
But you're not naked.
Yeah.
I guess that, but it's not clothes.
You'd
You're in
definitely
that
be like,
strange
someone's
entry.
in here.
If I
you
have
know?
a blanket over me, I'm naked.
No, guys, let's break
No
this
matter
down.
what. No matter
Hang on,
what,
I'm
if I
gonna
have a
throw
blanket on.
10 situations at you.
Okay, go.
You tell me exactly where you
Go,
lie.
quick, rapid
All right,
round.
Just a
and then
bra.
we'll vote. I'm in my underwear.
Are you naked or you're not naked?
I'm in my underwear.
Are you naked or you're not naked?
I'm in my underwear
That's
is
not
the
an answer.
categorization. Yes, it is. Next one, 2.
Just in your underwear.
That mildly clothed, but not fully.
Just in shoes.
With nothing else?
Nothing else.
Naked.
Naked for sure. In a towel.
Naked.
No, you're not naked.
A towel is a blanket I'm allowed to get wet.
Oh my God. You got to patent that. That's hilarious. Write that down.
Towel,
Loincloth.
a blanket you can get wet.
Oh,
Loincloth.
take it to Shark Tank.
Not naked, barely. It's the same
So
as
wait,
underwear.
you're not naked in a loincloth, but you're naked in a towel. A
Yes.
towel covers more of you.
One is categorized as clothing. It's just minimal. It's like underwear. A
No.
loincloth is loose underwear.
I have to say,
The
Michelle,
loincloth developed into boxer shorts.
the reasoning is flawed. I'm not listening to anything
I'm not the one
else
who
you
make
have to
these
say.
rules. These are society's rules about what cloth is used for what.
Let's get back to the shark.
You only gave me 5. All right. Shark Time.
Yes.
Right.
Time.
Fucking Rainn Wilson was killing it for me. I really
Oh.
enjoyed him.
I like, and he has been recently in the news because he sat next to someone who was watching on a flight, was watching The Office for 5 hours straight, and the person didn't realize they were sitting next to Rainn Wilson.
Yeah.
And Rainn Wilson was interviewed about this, and he said to the person who was sitting next to, "So, what do you think of The Office?" And the person said, a little bit slow in the first season. And then he slowly took his mask off. And the person was like, oh my God, it's the guy from The Office and the Meg. I assume.
And the Meg.
Rainn Wilson, as seen in The Meg.
Let's make sure that we can get a seat next to him on a flight and we'll watch the Meg next time.
We'll be like, it's a bit slow in the first half. But God, that guy can wear a baseball hat.
Yeah, this fucking billionaire guy is killing it.
Yeah. But secretly evil.
It's such an
Secretly
archetypal. Well, no, I mean he's a billionaire. It's not secret.
True.
Hey, he gets his comeuppance. He gets left behind by a boatload of friends.
He
and
gets
then
his cum muffins. Yeah. He. Sorry.
We didn't need to bring cum muffins into this conversation. You
Hey.
brought cum
Claire's
muffins.
dad listens to this. Okay.
Hi, Dad.
No one is,
Hey, Dad,
rimming
you
the
can eat my
ass of
cum
a cum
muffins.
muffin. You know, it's not going to happen.
Christ.
Listen, Rainn Wilson. He at the end he was eating his cum muffins on that dead whale that they exploded.
Oh my God, I forgot about the dead whale.
I found it, if anything, a little disappointing. He should die, right? But I felt like it should be more ridiculous. Him
Yeah.
just getting eaten in the middle of the night
Eh.
feels like a genuine, like, oh my God, the Meg's gonna get him kind of death, you know?
Yeah.
I liked that it bit out the whale. I'd like it if he lived and then died later or something, you know? Yeah.
I
don't know.
getcha.
That was a
I think
weaker moment for me.
I liked it if you just like slipped on a banana peel
I
and then
think
The
just
ocean.
into the ocean,
I
into
thought
the
for a
open
second-
mouth of the Meg.
what was going to happen, because it was a dead whale, is he was going to try and last on it and then the whale was going to explode. You know how whale corpses explode?
Yeah, 'cause
They
of the
do.
gases.
Yeah.
That's so
That would have
strange.
been way more inventive.
Right?
You should have written the Meg.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well,
Should've
there's the
written
Meg
Meg.
2, Meg 3, Meg 4.
Yeah.
Should we all do a spec script for Meg 4?
Yeah, let's send it to
Meg 3.
Turtletown.
To Turtletown?
To Turtletown?
Yeah. That's my pet name for him.
Oh, hello,
He's
here it's Turtletown.
Turtletown.
The song as you enter in, it's like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Toontown and
Yeah, yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Roger Rabbit.
And like I'm doffing a hat.
Well, hey there, Claire. What have you got for us here at Turtletown?
I'm like, hey, I just
very
walked
slowly because
in.
That's a tortoise.
I got the Meg for you.
You've got the
I
Meg
got
for
the
me.
Meg. I got the spec script.
Oh, well, let me call John.
Okay.
The biggest turtle in Turtletown.
It's me.
Oh, John, you're here.
Sure am.
Wow.
Boy, oh boy. I love spec scripts. Hand it over, young lady.
Clearly, our podcast is just a platform for us to advertise ourselves as improvisers And as
Yeah,
voice
we're yes-anding. I'm going to self-edit I'm going to self-edit myself out of the scene.
Yeah, no, this is too chaotic. I forgot that Claire combined with the two of us makes very chaotic.
Yeah,
Makes it
there's too much ADHD in this room. It
Guys, I haven't been diagnosed.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, sure.
Eh.
I will cut that out.
You can give it. That's
But
fine.
we're leaving the rimming in.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
All right. Rooming stays. Yes. Well, look, I liked this movie.
Yeah.
I think we can all
I mean,
agree.
you wanted to do this movie
I know.
Yeah.
due to a fascination.
Fascination.
Certain male actor.
Look, when this movie came out, some reviewers, and I'll even get to one of them in question, described it as like not quite bad enough to be entertainingly bad. As someone who watched it at home rather than paying like $30 to go and see it and then buy a popcorn, I disagree. I had a great time.
I had a great time too.
It's not a good movie, but I had a great time.
I obviously, as I have said, loved it. And I also think there's a bit of like a Greek chorus following Jason and, what's the lovely woman's name?
Suyin?
Suyin around. I love that we don't call Jason Jonas. That's so close to his name, you guys.
Oh, yeah.
They were like,
I didn't write it down.
Jonas.
There was pages of trivia for this, by the way, but one of them was
excited to hear.
that I didn't write down was just someone noting that it's an anagram, Jason and Jonas, but it is a coincidence. Because did you guys know? I forgot to mention this up front. This is based on a book
What?
that was written in like 97.
Oh.
By whom?
It was written in 1997.
By
A
Jason
book,
Statham.
Meg, a novel of deep terror by Steve Alton. It was also the first book he ever got published.
That sounds very similar to Steve Irwin.
Steve
Is that
Alton?
Steve Irwin's pen name?
Steve Alton? It doesn't sound that similar. They're just both Steve.
Maybe I got
Claire's
Steve in the
right.
brain.
I think she's onto
So sorry.
something.
There's also, by the way, 8 of these Meg books. Let me read them out to you. There's Meg, a novel of deep terror. The Trench, or The Trench, Meg 2. Meg, Primal Waters. Meg, Hell's Aquarium.
Hell's Aquarium.
Meg,
No, wait.
Origins. By the way,
Let's-
that's an ebook, and the Wikipedia notes that.
Hell's Aquarium. I'm waiting for Gordon Ramsay to come out with that. I'm waiting.
Yes.
Hell's
What is
Aquarium
this? A
great.
fucking Dory?
I hope that that's like a Jurassic
bass.
Park going on, but with a megalodon in an aquarium. That's
Yeah.
what I hope the premise of that is.
And then Gordon is just cooking up a sandwich or something. On the
You
what is it?
Fucking Meg sandwich. Is a shit
What's that
sandwich.
meme? Yeah,
You're
what
an
are
idiot
you?
sandwich.
You're an idiot sandwich.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because,
love that.
Because they're an idiot and they're between 2 slices of bread.
Oh, that's so. God, he's worth the money.
It's pretty good. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
It's more funny when you explain it.
There's also number
for
6, Meg, Night Stalkers. Which is also- 7, this is one of my favorites actually. Meg, Generations.
Generations.
Oh.
It's like the kitties of
Oh
the
my
first
god!
shark.
Yeah, he's like, I want to be like you, Dad.
And then last year was the latest one, 8, Meg, Purgatory.
Wow.
We've already been to hell, now we're in purgatory.
Yeah,
God,
it's
we're
grappling
getting
with
deep.
life and death.
Just deeper and deeper.
Oh,
That's
it's
amazing.
certainly deep, if
Hey.
you get what I mean.
Hey-o.
Hey. One of my favorite parts of this, because this is the exact sort of shit that I love in these sort of like B-grade movies, although this one cost $150 million, is that there's a point where they're questioning, like, do we hunt it down? What do we do about this? And Jason Statham is talking about, like, did you ever think Mother Nature maybe put that thermocline there for a reason?
Yeah.
And I'm like, did Jason Statham pitch that, like, nature and evolution, like, intentionally made the megalodon extinct, but it couldn't do it to all of them? So then it was like, quick, trap him down below.
Yeah,
Because that's fucking nuts.
it is.
That's craziness.
It is, and I think the science behind this movie is made up.
Let me tell you, there's so much of the vast majority of the trivia is about how something in the movie doesn't make sense to how sharks or megalodon work,
Yeah.
but makes sense in the original book and stuff. Like, for
right.
example, it has evolved over 2 million years to live down 10,000 meters in the ocean, which is not at all where megalodon lived anyway. It should be at least more sensitive to light. If not, like, in the book, it's described as kind of translucent, like a lot of like deep sea creatures and stuff.
Yeah.
Also, it shouldn't like the temperature differential. Like, there's so
No.
much craziness.
And the vibration as well.
Yeah.
They're like, please be quiet. No. And then they're like pulling ropes and then it's like, yeah, the science behind it is just so scattered. And I wonder if Jason was just going to bed every night and being like, oh my God, I need to pitch this.
I've got a scripted amendment.
I've got to pitch this. Well, I mean, they first bought the book rights in 1997. Disney bought the film rights
Disney.
for $1 million. And it went into turnaround because they didn't want to compete with Deep Blue Sea in 1999, which is a movie that is very critically reviled as well.
Yeah.
And then Steve Alton, the author of the
I
book,
think you mean Steve Irwin.
Steve Irwin wrote
May
his
he rest in peace, Michelle.
He wrote his own draft,
Insensitive.
which he showed to Nick Nunziata, who then gave it to Guillermo del Toro.
Whoa, what?
Who then gave it to Lawrence Gordon and Lloyd Levin, who then brought it to Jan de Bont, who, at the very least, took it to the studio. And that's how it, over like a decade, became a Warner Brothers thing.
I love that this is like a the parcel of a script.
It is. They're all like, oh, we got this big shark. Someone's got to do something, but I don't want to. You'll love this. You know?
They just like go to Hollywood parties and they're like, hey, so I got something for you. And they're like, oh, what? It's a shark script.
No, they're like, come into the bathroom.
Yeah.
They pull it out of their pocket.
It's like
and they're
No, I'm sure what they're
in
like
a packet, but like a A4 packet.
yeah, it's a big baggie with a script in it, and then they're snorting it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure that the way this conversation started was, hey, I've got a script for you.
Imagine a super highway.
Yeah.
Superhighway for sharks.
Imagine a really big shark.
You ever heard of a megalodon?
And get this, Jason Statham.
He's attached. He's really into it. He's thinking about the science.
He loves it. Now get it, at the end of the movie, you know how instead of blowing up the shark like the Jaws thing, he fights it with his fists and a harpoon.
Yeah.
Like a sword, you know?
Like a sword. It's kind of like he's a god. And then they take off their mask and they're Jason Statham the whole time.
They're all Jason Statham.
Yeah, it's just this high-powered executive.
That's why his accent wanders, it's that he keeps trying to do all these impressions as executives. It's all leaking into his regular sort of vernacular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually hear someone at the door. I might have to go check that out.
Okay,
Yeah, I think
Claire,
you should,
go
because
check
I
that
didn't
out.
invite anyone. But
I
if
think
there's someone
someone's
at the
knocking
door,
at the door,
Did
you
someone
guys.
break into Michelle's house?
I said-
That is not meant to.
that's not okay. But I do hear a noise.
I know that I'm not the owner of this house.
No,
I'm
but
the owner of this house.
but please, you're an honoured friend. You're
But
a
I will
guest.
just check.
Well, stay safe, Claire.
Stay safe. Hope there's no Megs out
Text
there.
us when you get back, even though I'll be right here.
I'll be 2 seconds.
This is very scary for me.
Dun,
Dun.
Oh, hi, babes. Hello. It's me, JC Stacey. I do appear
Stacey.
if anyone is talking about Jason Statham, who is my only client.
What's your name, sorry?
Hello, I'm JC Stacey. I'm a talent agent.
Oh yeah, I think I've heard of you, JC Stacey. You're Jason Statham's own talent agent.
Yes,
Yeah.
hello, darlings. Hi.
Oh, have
How
you
are
jetted
we?
in from London? This
Oh,
is
darling,
crazy.
Jason Statham is filming Too Fast, Too Furious 11 in Adelaide. So I'm a very hands-on agent, so I have to be here.
Too Fast, Too Furious 11.
Yeah.
They're making another sequel to just the second Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Vin Diesel, he knows what he's doing.
It's called Adelaide Drift.
It's called Adelaide Drift, and they just go around Rundle Mall. That's it.
Well, it's amazing to meet you,
Yes,
JC
yes,
Stacey.
darlings, yeah.
I mean, I
meet
haven't
you.
heard anything about
No.
you, but
I pop up if Jason is mentioned. I have a Google alert.
Well,
Are
we
you
do
listening?
notably Google out, we're recording.
Yeah. That's why I'm here.
Are you tapping our phones?
Darling, I'm from Hollywood, of course.
Well, that makes sense.
I know my accent does wander around a lot, but I am from Hollywood. I live in Hollywood Boulevard.
Does it mean there's any interest in us in the podcast, or is it just purely Jason Statham?
Oh, darlings, I'm so sorry. I'm too slammed to take on another client.
That makes sense. I can imagine.
But I
Statham-
love Jason, and I
love
hear that, and I love the Meg,
Yeah.
and that's
so.
that's the biggest movie I brokered him
Yeah.
into. Yes,
You helped get him into the mail.
Yeah, well, the story is my grandmama, that's JC Stacey, the original. She discovered Jason in a Tesco's. He was flying around in a little automated helicopter because they sold them back then. They don't do that anymore.
Sure, yeah.
And she was like, "What the fuck? Let this little toddler." He was 3 at the time, bold as fuck, but as toddlers usually are. Get this toddler into an action movie. And then his mum was like, "No, he wants to be an Olympic diver." And so he went off and did that, whatever. And then
true.
It's true. And then my mother, JC Stacey Jr., but senior to me, whatever. She discovered him again, and he was really literally bombing into the pools in the diving.
Oh, so rather than diving, he was like cannonball, like
yeah. Well, he was all training for the Meg, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. So my mum got him into lock, stock, and 2 smoking barrels.
Yeah.
And then she's passed him on to me, and I really want him to get him. Yeah, I wanted to get him into TikTok. He doesn't really like it, but really, I got him into the Meg, and I'm really excited to announce that he's going to be in the Meg 2, and I'm extra excited to announce I actually have my hands on a copy of the Meg 7.
Oh.
Yeah, he's actually written it,
Yeah.
and it's directed by Joseph. Oh, hello. It's directed by Christopher Nolan.
Oh, man, they really plan these out in advance, but I'm glad
God.
Nolan's coming in.
Yeah, darling, it's Hollywood. You got a plan. You got a plan.
I'd love to hear some of the script.
please,
if you
please.
Of course.
willing
So,
to I didn't realize he was a writer as well.
Oh,
Rating
darling.
Descending exclusive, though.
it's an exclusive. It's top secret, no peaky. So I will give you a little exclusive. Also, I do a little impression of him. I'm trying to make it good because I am around him all the time.
It feels like a respectful thing to do for a client.
Yeah. I mean, he really does know who I am. I'm not like calling him all the time, and like his lovely supermodel wife, Rosie Huntington Whiteley, just picks up the phone and she's like, "Who is this? Can I sell you a lip cheek tint?" Because she does have her own makeup line called Rose.
Of course. You know a lot about Jason Statham, which makes sense as someone who clearly knows Jason Statham.
Yes, and of course he knows me as well.
Of course.
So I will. But he did fax this to me, so I will read it to you. Okay. So interior, the ocean, day.
Interior.
My name is Jonas Taylor. Funny name for an Englishman, I know. My parents were on the same plane when it crashed. That's how they met. They named me after the name of the plane. Not many people are named after a plane crash. Me, I'm a shark hunter. I make big sharks bleed. Some people say I was a shark in my past life. Now, I don't know about that. But one thing I do know is that sharks are pretty sexy.
So I don't mean to just be disrespectful. This is incredible. I'm laughing. I'm
Serious
remembering
drama.
a separately unrelated joke.
Yeah.
I go on. 5 years ago, I was under the Balkan Sea in a damaged nuclear submarine. I was forced to flee because a big bloody shark dunked its big bloody head into the submarine. Now, I'm on a mission against time to dive into the Mariana Trench, where that same shark is holding my adopted daughter captive. I'm going to find that shark, and I'm going to dunk it right back. So that's the script, darlings.
Oh, that's the whole thing? Or that's
Yes, it's mainly fight
extract?
scenes. The rest of the...
Oh,
it's mainly him donking the shark.
Yeah, so it's just choreography.
Oh, yes. I mean, he was an Olympic diver, so...
Yeah, well, yeah, he is. I found that in the trivia. I didn't include it. He is an expert swimmer.
Yes.
Quite genuinely.
Yes. He's lovely. I love Jason, and I love the Meg. I do have to go, darlings. I have to go nip back to Adelaide, but it was so lovely to meet you.
was
Thank you
so
so
great to
much.
To meet
Yeah.
you. Wait, before you go, can I ask you one question?
Of course,
Jason
darling.
Stacey? What's your favourite thing about Jason Statham?
Oh, his haunting eyes. My darling. They follow me around the house. I have so many portraits of him in my house. Did you see his GQ photo shoot?
No.
Oh, darling. His haunted eyes.
Haunted eyes.
Yes, he's seen some things. He's punched a shark. it was 150 million to 170 billion, whatever. I don't really do the math.
Billions,
I don't really do
they're
the
all the
math,
same.
darling. I'm just here to look pretty. I just make sure that Jason has his coffee latte and he's fine. But it was a real shock.
Wow. So they got a real Meg for the movie.
Yes, his
and
name's
he
Bruce.
really punched it.
Did they make a real superhighway into that layer to get it?
Oh, Jason designed it, darling.
Oh, wow.
He's so
everything.
He's a smart
he's
guy.
just a smart little cookie.
Versatile. Yeah.
Smart little biscuit.
One last thing.
of course.
Do you mind telling Mr. Statham I'll say, about the podcast? If he could maybe like
Oh, of course,
Drop us
darling.
a review.
drop us a review.
I'll give him
Follow
a
us on
call.
Twitter.
I'll give him a call, I'm sure.
Maybe email us in.
I'll give him a call. I'm sure that beautiful wife Rosie Hunting-Whiteley will probably pass it on for me. I have a couple of notes for him that she is holding on to. But yeah, of course I will.
Oh,
He'll
would
love
be-
it.
That would be really great.
He'll love it.
It would be. I think that would be a huge boost.
I think it'll be a
if we
huge
could
boost.
save them.
Like he loves to, he's grassroots organisation, so he loves that.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, darlings, for having me. All right, I better go. Right. Well, thank you, everybody, and please watch The Meg 2 when it comes out. You might see me actually in
Thank
it.
you so much, Jason. If
I-
you did on the way out,
Amazing.
grab
Of course.
Claire.
Yeah,
She's
is she okay?
I think she's okay. I think
was
she's
meant to
probably on the
text
phone
me.
to her dad or something.
Yeah,
because there was some naughty words.
a lot of missed calls, so I hope she's.
Oh, maybe she just locked herself out. She's very silly sometimes. Oh my god. Anyway, darlings. Oh, but yes. By the way, I'm in the Meg 2.
Oh.
Yes, I'm one
a
of the
shark?
sharks.
Oh,
They didn't have the budget for a little shark, and so it's me in a green
because you're so
green
petite.
costume, and then they just put a little fin on me.
Ah.
I'm so petite, yes, darling. Yes, I am very skinny. Thank you. I do live in Hollywood.
JC Stacy, everyone.
Thank you, darling. Bye. Bye.
Oh. God, I hope Claire's okay though.
I really do hope
I
Claire's
literally said
okay.
if you run into issues, text me, and she didn't text me.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey,
Miss Stacy.
Yes.
you did.
Oh my God.
God, I'm never in the same room with her.
Yeah, she's a time.
She just pops in and out, doesn't she?
Yeah, she flew all the way from Adelaide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Random Mall, I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Were they doing Meg? No, Too
No,
Fast,
Too Fast, Too Furious
Too Fast,
11.
Too Furious 11.
Adelaide.
So I'm told.
Adelaide Drift. Yeah,
It's a
sorry,
shame
my
you
bad.
missed her.
Adelaide
Yeah.
Drift.
She's fantastic.
That's so exciting.
Well, you actually missed the insight she gave us into the Meg 7.
Oh, fuck, what?
Yeah. I mean, are we allowed to disclose?
yeah,
Isn't an excellent script?
It's amazing.
it's pretty good. There's a lot of Statham being like, "Oi, I'm here fighting sharks."
He does that.
Shark
Yeah.
hunter,
He does
you know?
that, yeah.
Lot of that.
Accent
lot of that.
meanders around. I reckon her accent meanders around her too. I don't even know where she's from.
she's
Man.
strange.
She's from somewhere for sure.
I think she's always like
From
on a
London? Is she
yacht,
from
on a
Essex?
Côte d'Azur or whatever in France. That's in France.
I
Anyway.
can't believe he designed the shark superhighway we see in the movie. That's
Yeah,
incredible.
we learned so much about the Meg just from that brief visit. Thank you, JC Stacy.
Oh, wherever she is.
Wherever she is, in our hearts, in our minds, in our souls.
Well, hey, because I've got so much trivia.
Yes, please.
I can pivot into that, but I'll pivot on the note of my favorite line in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
This is one of my favorite bits to do. We can't. It's already proven to be aggressive against boats.
Yeah, I love that. It's like 3 fishing boats. That's where we draw the line.
With a special mention to the subtitles for when the Chinese tourists are like screaming, and it says in the subtitles, "Screaming in Mandarin." I would love to know the distinction. You guys want to hear some trivia?
Yes, please.
All right, so I've got so much trivia and also production history things. I'll start. This is one of them. I kind of already mentioned this. In the book, the megalodons are pure white, almost luminescent from living in an environment with virtually no light. This coloring proved too difficult to render in CGI while looking realistic. So the megalodons were given the same coloring as great white sharks, greybacks with pale bellies, even though this coloration would only make sense in an environment with light. A lot of this trivia, by the way, follows that. I haven't, not all of the trivia that I have, but a lot of the trivia in general follows that format of this thing was in the book, and then now it's in the movie like
it
this.
doesn't make sense.
And it doesn't make sense.
I love that.
And about-
Trivia nerds bloody love that.
Let's change that thing that made sense to this thing that doesn't make sense for the movie.
About 50% of the time, it also specifically shouts out John Turteltaub for being really obsessive about getting sounds and visuals right.
Oh, good on
He
John
sounds like he was really
Turtletown.
on point with like trying to get it right. And to be fair, this made $500 million.
Yeah.
You know.
It worked out.
Did pretty bloody well.
Did pretty good. In the book, the Meg only attacked at night since living in the deep water made its eye sensitive to light.
Oh.
It only attacked in daylight when it had been
baby.
blinded during the course of the book. The movie, however, had the Meg in daylight with no consequence.
So aggressive.
Also, can I just note, the Meg, it ain't that big.
It could be bigger.
It could be
I mean,
bigger.
guys,
There's room for
context, megalodons, including the one in the movie, which I think is a little bigger, could be 21 to 27 meters. The blue whale, the largest animal, if I'm pretty sure I'm remembering, to have ever existed, is 30 meters.
Yeah.
So when we say the megalodon's big, it's almost one of the largest creatures ever. I think it's pretty big.
It could be bigger.
Anything could be bigger.
I'm not lowering my standards. I want it to be bigger. I hope
It's
in Meg
big on
2.
the poster.
Yeah, look,
It's big in the movie, guys.
I hope it's bigger in Meg 2. If like the whale, if the megalodon,
It just gets bigger.
Yeah, it just bigger.
Fucking-
That's the tagline. It just gets bigger.
The guy from Lady Dynamite, the wall, he gets eaten and it's not even going after him. That's how big the Meg is. He's just like a byproduct, like fucking plankton getting eaten by a whale.
Okay, true.
He was one of my favorite pieces of trivia. Eli Roth was attached as director before being replaced by John Turteltaub. Roth left due to creative differences with the studio, namely that he wanted the film to maintain both its R rating and a $150 million budget. It was also rumored that Roth, on top of writing and directing, also wanted to play the lead role of Jonas, but the studio believed he did not have the star power.
Whoa.
Only Statham's got the
Only
right
Statham.
level. I fucking hate Eli Roth. This is the third time I think
Wow.
I've had to say that on this podcast. I hate him
What I love,
with a passion.
both of us hated him before this podcast, and then we keep finding out things we didn't know about Eli Roth that make us hate him more.
Yeah.
And I
just-
love that for us.
Of course he wanted to keep an R rating. He loves shit. He loves it gory.
Yeah.
He loves like women's breasts being exposed.
Okay, I've just realised who Eli Roth
He's
is.
not a
I
good
just did a
man.
real quick Google.
He's a very questionable man. I hate him.
Him wanting to star in it as Jonas Taylor is really funny, though.
And them saying no.
For $150 million, I don't
I
fucking
don't think so, sweaty.
And here's another one.
Yeah.
In the early stages of development, the film was touted as a George Clooney vehicle. Yeah.
He was going to play the Meg.
There's no way this movie ends with a man v Meg fist fight and it's George Clooney.
No, I feel like he would just grin and wink at it, and the baby would be like, "Oh fuck,"
Let
and
me
then
make
just
you an
die.
espresso. Let's put this all behind us.
It would just be George Clooney on a yacht, or in
A yacht.
like or a yacht, whatever JC would say.
It would have to be more Jaws-like if it was George Clooney.
Yeah.
I could see him being not,
be more
not
dramatic.
Hooper, Brody. I could see him being Brody.
It would be more of a drama than an action.
Yeah.
You know, it would be him like brooding over the ocean. For sure.
Drinking an espresso.
An espresso, yeah. Wearing a suit.
This is one of my favorite things. During the climactic scene in the film, with hundreds of people on a beach and a megalodon in the water, there's one character inside a Zorb ball.
Yes. And
Yeah.
it gets popped.
And it gets popped. As soon as you see the Zorb ball, you're like, I hope the shark tries to bite it. And it
it
does.
does.
They really deliver on
You know,
that.
on the honeymoon, Claude found out what zorbing was. Like, he'd never heard of what zorbing was. And I made some joke about zorbing. And he was like, what is that? And then he was like, my God. Like, he became fixated on what zorbing was and the history of zorbing. He
We
was
gotta
like,
get him a
We
Zorb.
gotta zorb him.
They're going to Zorb him.
They're gonna zorb my husband.
They're going to Zorb Claude.
Quick.
That's great.
An inflatable hamster ball for human that's used for scrambling around on top of water, or in many parts of Australia, just the loose countryside,
Going down a hill.
going down a hill.
Love it.
Ever wanted to go down a hill inside of a ball? Well, here you go.
I have to
Zorb.
say, zorbing on water freaks me out because the idea of it filling with water and then you drown in the zorb, that scares me.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I don't like
Drown in the Zorb is actually my first EP.
Down in the Zorb.
At a,
drowning in the zorb tonight.
at a certain point, this Zorb ball pops. Abigail! 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 At a certain point, this Zorb ball pops, and that was the sound which John Turteltaub was obsessed with getting right. Eric Ardal, who I think was the sound supervisor, stated, we went through so many iterations of that sound. We wound up doing this extensive balloon popping session on stage 10 at Warner Brothers where we had enough room to inflate a 16-foot weather balloon. We popped a bunch of different balloons there and we accidentally popped the weather balloon. Fortunately, we were rolling and we got it. So a combination of those sounds created the Zorb ball pop.
Guys, to be a white man just in a room being paid thousands of dollars to pop a
balls.
ball. I mean, if only.
And look, it was a good moment. The pop paid off because that was
wanna hear
that
it.
was a great moment. But it reminds me, that kind of story reminds me of the Phil Spector story with the Ramones, where the Ramones were like recording an album with them in the 80s. Phil Spector's got them at his big fucking Los Angeles like mansion, and he is obsessed with the first 2 notes of a song, and he plays them for 3 hours and won't let them leave. And when Johnny Ramone got up to leave, he pulled a pistol on him. Reminds me of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, reminds me of
Well,
that.
that's the different time Phil Spector shot someone.
Yeah.
So
He loved his guns.
That time he just had the gun rather than shooting someone.
He
Wow,
just
I'm
threatened
learning
him.
so much about Phil Spector.
He's a nasty man. Eli Roth, Phil Spector,
Revolutionary film producer, but a horrid human being.
horrible man. Anyway,
Here's another one. At one point, Jonas threatens Hella, stating that since they're in international waters, he can assault him and get away with it. This is a common misconception. International waters are not lawless. Ships and ocean-based structures fall under the jurisdiction of and are subject to the laws of the country in which they are registered. Jonas would be held accountable for any crime committed at the research station the same way as if it was committed in the United States, assuming that's where it was registered. I wanted to include that because when he was like, we're in international waters, I could do whatever I want, I was like, I don't think that's true. And then I found this in the trivia and I was like, great, now I don't need to look it
would it
up.
be true if you had like set up some kind of like station, like you had built like a house in the middle of the water? Like say it managed to float on the water and you lived in it, you would belong to no nation? Would
No.
that be true?
No.
Why? Because it's not registered to anything.
You, as a citizen of the country, are essentially
Yeah.
like extending like that right. Because for one thing, a lot of water is claimed by countries, so you'd have to be far enough out that it would be international waters.
How does that? Because there's been heaps of guys in like the 70s in particular that set up their own nations in the channel between England and France, and it didn't belong to either.
Essentially like the way the international system works is that a country is a country because everyone else agrees, right? And that's where you get like disputed territory,
Yeah.
like areas in Georgia and stuff, right? The thing, you can set up a micronation.
Yeah.
It's just that no country agrees, right? So like they will just go to an island and go, this is the micronation of this thing, and pretend that it's in their own country. England is still fully like, that's ours.
Yeah.
It's not really a separate
They did
entity legally
keep
from.
claiming it was theirs, but
Yeah.
then he kept basically being like, well, it's my little nation. And I think there was some loophole that meant that technically it wasn't England's either.
And was it Phil Spector?
Yeah.
It was Eli Roth, actually.
Of
Yeah.
course. And his psychoanalyst. Oh, God.
Alanist.
Psychoanalyst dad.
Here's one more to pivot into the next section, which is this film uses Philippine Trench and the Mariana Trench interchangeably. They are thousands of miles apart.
Yeah. But they're trenches.
Do you guys want to hear some weirdly written goofs?
Yeah.
Because you can imagine for a movie like this, there was tons.
There's so many.
Also, Claire, I'm going to make up my own character. It's the agent of the Meg, and her
That's
name's
fine.
Mariana Trench.
Great.
Yeah. And she goes, hey, she's really Brooklyn.
Oh,
She's like,
great.
I'm walking here. Me and Maggie boy.
Yeah, here's some weirdly written goofs. Now, Abby and I have been in not a full dispute. I don't think it's broken out into fistfights yet. But like this is one of those sections where like the premise of it is a little wonky because it's just that they're weirdly written, even though sometimes they're just right. But I think they're written in a way that's notable enough
Yeah.
that it's worth mentioning on this podcast.
Fabulous. I'm all for it.
Dr. Heller takes a physical of Taylor and claims he is in perfect shape. However, in the earlier scene with the Thai fisherman whose boat Taylor used to maintain, it was established that Taylor had been drinking non-stop for the past 5 years and that alcoholism has already impaired him to the point he is no longer fully functioning socially.
True.
Nobody is in perfect physical shape after that.
No.
Which is related to another weirdly written goof I have. Jonas has supposedly been a hardcore alcoholic for 5 years, drinking almost non-stop that entire time. There is no way he could maintain the muscle tone he has with such long-term alcohol abuse to his body.
I reckon you could still be ripped and an alcoholic. I reckon you could do both.
Take it up with Statham, man.
Yeah, I will.
Well, to be fair, he kept talking about drinking beer, which I think
That
would be
does
hard
bloat
to...
you out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you
Yeah.
can have a beer belly the
God,
size
for
of a
sure.
man.
The carbs in those beers.
Here's another one that's a little longer, but I was obsessed with it. Jason Statham's accent appears to wander between Cockney London, American, Australian, and a bit of South African. It's by the way, this is written as if it's two people talking to each other, but that's not how IMDb goof reviews work. His accent is his own, and it is doubtful he could alter it. Watch him in Parker trying to put on a Texas accent. An actor's inability to perform a believable accent is not a mistake in the filmmaking process. It simply comes down to the skill of the actor. It's quite literally saying that bad acting is a character error. Additionally, the authenticity of an accent is a purely subjective opinion. If bad accents were considered goofs, countless movies would be guilty.
Like, I mean this with no offense.
Sure.
You, in another world, in another life, you would have written that.
Oh, fuck you.
Wait, is this one person talking to themselves?
I guess. I think they're
They really
talking
went on a
to the
tangent.
royal you, maybe, who is
Yeah.
angry. But hey, fuck you. Fuck you, Abby.
It's true.
I mean, his accent is really everywhere.
It is
It is really-
everywhere.
But honestly,
But
it's
it's-
endearing.
it is.
Yeah.
It's a good trait.
He's a man of the world.
It's not lack of skill. It's just, irreverence.
You know what? It's not a continuity error, all right? It's just down to... Here's the last weirdly written goof I have. Unless the Meg is a very fast learner, there is no reason that it would be attracted to whale songs, as there would be no whales in its home territory.
That's true.
Oh, but doesn't everybody love a little whale song?
Yeah.
It's so calming.
And it ecolizes.
Yeah. And isn't it like-
ecolizes.
I assume the Meg is thinking with its dick. It's like, oh, there's a sexy whale.
Why do you think the shark wants to fuck the whale?
Because
Explain yourself.
you know that stereotypical like
Sharks are boys and whales are
werewolf
girls?
hearing oh woo, and they're like oh woo, and then they're like, oh
That-
my god,
that
I'm
is
just
not-
speaking about Wallace and Gromit and the Were Rabbit here.
Yeah.
that is not an answer to the question
Guys,
I asked
this
you.
is my science.
I think she's
Respect
right.
my science.
I think she's right.
also
What are you
the
talking
Meg. I
about?
assume is
Is
he's
human?
only human. And sometimes you want to fuck.
Why does the human want to fuck the whale?
I'm sorry. No. The Meg is only human is the funniest line of this entire episode.
Yeah, you're right. We're not topping that. All right, you guys want to hear some reviews? Or just go straight in.
Yes.
This has 46% on Rotten Tomatoes and 5.6 on IMDb. So
It's higher than it should be.
it's
That's
out
higher
of the
than-
list, but it's still pretty low.
Yeah.
Owen Gleiberman of Variety said,
Gleberman.
classic Glebes.
Between the Glebermans and the Turtle Taubes, we are
I love them.
flooded with it.
He said this movie is neither good enough nor bad enough. The Meg, a rote sci-fi horror adventure film that features a shark the size of a blue whale, comes on like it wants to be the mother of all deep sea attack movies, but it's really just the mother of all generically pandering, totally unsurprising Jaws ripoffs. It's pretty
I don't
harsh.
think he liked
Very
it.
harsh. Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting the vibe that he was not impressed.
Yeah.
Here's an IMDb review titled "Best Shark Movie Since Jaws." Yeah. This is, by the way, really hard for me to choose because they're all great. It's by Lee Zachary -19503. I hope that's his postcode. Oh God. Also, this is one of those ones that we haven't had for ages. We used to have these a lot, where the first letter of every word is capitalized as if this is a title.
Oh, love it.
The Meg is the best shark movie since Jaws, in my opinion. I can name 4 reasons on why The Meg is the best shark movie since Jaws. Number 1 reason, The Meg got great action. Number 2 reason, The Meg also got funny skences, but funny in a good way. Through number 3 reason, The Meg got great suspense. Number 4 reason, The Meg also got great jump scared. And number 10 out of 10.
I'm scared. And what was it? Suspect.
Suspect.
We got sharks. We got sharks.
No, I was just double checking that I didn't cut off the end, but that is the end.
Suspects.
Turns out Jason Statham actually wrote that one.
Yeah, after a beer, after a sing tao.
After 5 beers.
After sinking.
In
Couple of sing
Thailand.
taos.
After a Thai tea. Always wondered what made those Thai iced teas so good. It's beer. Here's another one. Jason Statham movie. I enjoyed it. By Fusion X8.
Oh, that's
And this was left by
lovely.
Claire.
Yeah, I think I wrote that.
This is a longer one, and I'm fucking obsessed with part of it. I honestly really enjoyed this movie. At one point, it was anticlimactic, but then a twist which renewed itself. If you have seen other Jason Statham movies, then you know what to expect. This is a bit different than his other roles. There is no fighting, military, or martial arts style. The movie has some cute moments, sad moments, and a lot of suspense, spelled correctly this time. Beautiful graphics and dark comedy. Sorry, it was just written in such a confusing way. There are a few moments of, why would you do that? Or, that's not how that works. But it is an enjoyable flick, and I will watch it again. This is a breakup from other shark movies, or movies like this. There are some characters, one in particular, never specified, no idea who they're talking about, that don't fit.
Ruby Rose.
Yeah.
I hope so, because I worry that it's Li Bingbing and we're finding some subtle racism from this guy. Oh, also, I never mentioned this is a American Chinese co-production. That's why there's so many Chinese things in it, which I think is really cool.
Nice.
There is even some stereotypical concepts from other movies incorporated that were a bit rushed. Trying to stay away from spoilers. Character development was rushed, and we get our typical backstory of the hero's journey, which makes up just about all movies and books' stories of overcoming odds. 1, Ordinary World.
Whoa.
2, Call to Adventure.
Whoa.
3, Refusal of the Call. 4, Meeting with the
gonna do
Mentor.
all
5,
fucking,
Crossing the
12 or
First Threshold.
17?
6, Test Allies and Enemies. 7, Approach to the Innermost Cave. 8, The Ordeal. 9, Reward. 10, The Road Back. 11, The Resurrection. 12, Return with the Elixir. Is that the Vogler 12? Because that's not the
I thought
Campbell 16.
Yeah, no, Campbell's can sometimes be 17.
I think we lost
But
sense
it can
a
also
long time
sometimes be
ago, you
12.
guys.
There's two amounts. There's 12 and there's 17 for whatever reason. Depends what part you read.
So many.
That's so stupid.
But that just moved us faster to the suspense, which is more of what this movie is about. Lots of movies spend a lot of time on character development, and when they finally paint the full picture of character, they have to rush the plot or make it a 2-hour plus movie. This was an enjoyable flick. I will watch again and again. I would give this movie a 7 out of 10 because there are only 100 to 200 or so movies I have or would rewatch. I own around 2,204 movies or shows. Around 2,204. But I feel this movie has been rated harshly, and therefore I give it a 10.
Whoa!
That was a lot.
10 out of 10.
That was a big
I know
review.
you guys. This person owns 2,222.2
Roughly,
movies.
maybe.
Around.
That's kind of
Around.
hard.
Yeah.
Here's one last one. It's much shorter.
Okay.
Pippin Made It by Grindcore is Terrifying. The movie was all right, nothing too special, but Pippin the dog stole the show. Spoilers, the movie makes you think that Pippin is dead, but the best part is when you see Pippin again at the end. 10 out of 10 for Pippin. 10 out of 10.
That's lovely. I love Pippin.
Yeah.
Me too.
And it kind of links back to not Shark Night. I was about to say Shark Tank. Shark Night, where the dog is seen at the end too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. What's his
Isn't that
name?
lovely?
Sheffield or something?
Maybe.
Mr. Sheffield.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mr.
Mr.
Sheffield.
Yeah.
Piffin.
Dustin
Tiffin,
Milligan
Pup Muffin,
and what's her fucking name? Oh, have I forgotten her name?
Sarah Pass.
No,
Pasco
the
Vale.
nanny.
Oh, Fran
Fran
Drescher.
Drescher. Yeah, it should have been. That's what it should have been. It should have been Dustin Milligan and Fran Drescher.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they're
Oh, Mr.
on like
Sheffield.
a little boy somewhere, like a little, not a boy, like a boy, Bouye, whatever.
Okay.
Oh,
And they're just hanging out and they're just floating off into the distance.
Oh, that's a good ending.
And suddenly there's a shark.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the setup for the sequel in this is that when there's like hundreds of sharks all eating the Meg, we see a baby shark swim out of the Meg's mouth. The famous classic way that baby sharks are born. Through vomit. No,
I think it
forgot
must have
about
been
that.
born earlier and was just living in its
was just
mouth.
living inside of the shark.
Yeah, it's like a free ride.
Yeah.
It just doesn't
It's
make
thrifty.
sense. It's fine.
Yeah, it is.
The shark's on a budget.
Yeah, exactly right. Times are tough.
But you know, this is just these guys' opinions. What I really want to know is your opinion, Claire. What was your opinion? What would you give this movie?
I would give this movie an 8.5 out of 10. That's
Claire.
why I love it, you
Claire.
guys. It was the journey to, I don't know if your listeners know this, but guys, it was me. I was Josie Stacey. And
What?
I absolutely love Jason Statham. I think he represents so much dumb shit that we all need in our lives. And I love that all of his movies are just him getting revenge on his like sister, girlfriend, mother, and then who has been killed by a rival gang or a shark. And he is on the way, he adopts a wonderful young Chinese Mandarin orphan and he gets revenge. And There's so many movies where he does this, and The Meg is no exception.
I love your appreciation for this horrible void of films that we focus on in this podcast. Like, you get it. You get it.
You
I get it.
understand.
You're in the right place.
I do have to ask, though, does this mean we're not getting a Statham shout out?
Yeah.
I mean,
because we were kind of counting on
I
that.
already transferred you like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, you charged 117 grand.
yeah, she's on a budget.
Yeah, times are tight.
I'll invoice you. Abby, what was your opinion?
Boy. 8.5, Claire. That almost breaks some records.
Yeah, it really
great.
does. That's some Abby craziness.
Yeah. I wouldn't go that high, but I did have a good time. And even though, you know me, I'm all about it having to finish exactly at 90 minutes or else I like flip a table. But this went for like an hour and 53, not that I'm counting, but it didn't make me want to scream. Like, I didn't mind that it was close to 2 hours long. I was enjoying myself. The twists and turns, the sharks, there was lots of them. There was, people dying. I give it a 4.5 out of 10.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to be honest. I think I'm going to be the, coming down the middle because for me, I really quite enjoyed it. Like, it's still bad. This is one of those times where I really want to clarify. There's a lot of moments in the movie where the dialogue's a little trite, a lot of the, setup and circumstances of the character is, kind of paint by numbers of these kinds of movies. You can sort of predict exactly how everything's going. And, the movie doesn't have to always surprise you, but it's nice when the movie does something different. But there's also enough intentionality to the direction and to aspects of the production and stuff that make it feel so much better. Like, it doesn't feel like a mediocre action movie, which I don't have a good time with. It feels like a B movie made by someone who knows exactly that genre. And that made it really fun for me. So I'm going to give it a 6 with the caveat of if you're into a B movie, shark movie, it'll be an 8.5. It really did exactly what it wanted to be quite well. I disagree that it's not good enough or bad enough. It's good for being bad,
Also, the cast can wear the hell out of a jacket.
Yeah.
The jacket budget on this movie was a good jacket budget.
Yeah.
Incredible stuff. Well, that was just our reviews. If you want to hear other things that we have to say or other things that we think, or to join in on the fun and craft and collection, there's meet with like-minded people, perhaps find the love of your life. You can find us on social media. You can find us on Twitter at RateDescendPod, TikTok at Rating Descending, or you could email us at ratingdescending@gmail.com. I love the email.
Or you can find us on our personal accounts. I'm on Instagram under Abigail J. Ward. And what are you on Instagram under, Claire?
I'm under Clare.Rankine, and also a little JC Stacey fact for you. You can actually follow JC Stacey at JC_Stacey.
I can't remember
on
that.
Instagram.
That's too complicated for me.
Pretty complicated.
Oh, damn.
And you can also find me on social media. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at michelle.stclair.
And don't forget to leave us a review wherever you get your podcast. It really makes a difference.
Oh, please, it makes a difference. It's like a little PSA. The more you do, it really makes a difference. You too could sponsor a podcast just by leaving a review. Or you could give us money, but we don't have a vehicle for that, I guess hit me up.
A vehicle? Well, JC Stacey's Lamborghini's outside.
Oh, all right.
She's been idling this whole time.
She's burning a lot of fuel that
burning
way.
a lot of fuel.
Yeah.
She's from Hollywood.
Normally I'd do that was at the end of the bonus, we just fade out, right? We just...
That's it.
Yeah, that's
Catch
it.
us for another bonus.
Catch us. Oh my God, maybe we'll do another bonus. But what's that nearby?
We can talk about the Meg too.
Oh, well, catch us at the Meg 2? What do you mean?
Oh, you'll see JC Stacey at the premiere.
Oh, yeah, of course. You'll see JC Stacey.
And I'll
at
be
the
there.
premiere.
And we'll just keep missing each other. You know?
100%.
She'll be like, where's Claire? And I'll be like, where's JC?
I guess we just slowly fade out as the music goes at this point, right, guys?